Hello everyone, this is Virendra Singh from Toolsqa.com. I welcome you to this tutorial, this small tutorial about date time picker control and Selenium. So date time picker controls are actually those controls which show you a calendar where you click on any particular date and that date is selected. Let me show you. So the best example can be found on any travel website. Let's go to cleartrip.com, and if you click on this is the date time picker. Not the time picker, it's a date picker. So you can pick date from here, whatever date you're flying or whatever date you're traveling, you can pick it up from here. So this is the date picker functionality which we want to learn about today, and we want to know how Selenium interacts with the date time picker. So let's go to the agenda part. What are we learning today? We are learning about date time pickers. We will learn the two main type of date time pickers that are available that you may find on your website, and then we will talk about how to analyze the date time picker element on an HTML page so that we can decide on the strategy that we would use to actually automate picking up a date. Then I will give you a walkthrough on how to write a small piece of code in Selenium for date time picker. So as other tutorials, this tutorial has some prerequisites. I want you to have a basic understanding of Selenium before you go and look into this video, because if you don't know how Selenium works and how to write your very basic tests, then there is no point in going into date time picker. I would like you to have an understanding of XPath, but if you don't know what an XPath is or how it works, don't worry. If you have the understanding, then that's well and good. I would also expect that you have a Firefox browser and there is a Firebug add-in installed in the Firefox browser. So let us open cleartrip.com, or let's go to expedia.com. So expedia.com is a travel website, and on the very first page you will find a date picker. Let's see what it is. So this is the date picker element. So if you click on it, you will get a small, you may call it a frame, you may call it a small HTML window that opens up. So whether it's a HTML window, it's just an HTML element, or it's an iframe. Well, iframe is also an HTML element, but depending on whether it's an iframe or a simple HTML element, your strategy to identify this element and access the inner elements highly depends on that. So if it's an iframe in Selenium, you will write a little bit different code, and if it's a regular element, you will write a different code. So we will come to that. Before that, let us try to understand what it is. So this is the date picker element. Let us analyze it. Let us try to understand how it has been created inside the HTML. So if I do an inspect element, oh, Firefox is up. I don't know this. I'm not able to get rid of this toolbar. Delta names. I hope you don't mind this. Cleartrip.com. No, it's not Cleartrip. It's Expedia. Expedia.com. You go to Expedia.com. There you find the element, and then you try to analyze the element in Firebug. So this is the element. Let us try to analyze what this element is all about. You right click on the desired element and click on inspect element with Firebug. So Firebug is an add-in in Firefox, and it's a very good tool to analyze the HTML page, and it's a very good tool to find XPath also. So it says that whatever element we have clicked on, is a div. It's a div tag with a class name title. So you can see here, this is a div tag, the whole blue thing, and then it has a class named title, and the inner text is June 2014, which is quite visible here. It says June 2014. Now we can go down and we can look at more elements. For example, just below the title we have weekend day stop, which is like, you can see that highlight portion has reduced right here, look at that, right here the highlight portion has reduced. Then we have the body, and then we have the bottom. Let's see what bottom is. This is the bottom part. So all these four elements are part of a div called month, a div which has a class called month, which has an attribute class which has a value month. Now as we go up, you can see that we reach to a div which is called month list, and if I point to that div, it shows me the whole window. So this div, which has an ID of month list, represents the whole window, a whole pane. You call it a pane. So let's move a little bit up in the chain of HTML elements. So as we go up, you would see that it's the whole this whole window, this whole element is a division, again a division, which has an ID out border, out BDR. So it's actually nothing but a nested div elements. Now if we go above more, we will see that everything falls into an iframe. Now iframe, what is an iframe? Iframe is an HTML tag. It's an inline HTML tag which is used to display pages. So it gives you a separate section, and you can render your own page inside the section. So it's kind of a division, it's kind of a frame inside a frame. So iframe tag gives you a small window of your own. Now you can see that this particular date picker element is implemented as an iframe. Now iframe has if in your project the date picker is implemented as an iframe, you have to write a code in a certain way. We'll come to that. So let us straight away go ahead into the coding part. Let me open Eclipse. There you go. Eclipse. So we know that this is an iframe. Now there is one more important thing that I want to show you. Let this Eclipse thing go away. Let me pause the video for a few seconds. Okay, so Eclipse window is gone. So we were talking about this date picker. It is implemented as an iframe. You can see that iframe tag is being used. Now look at this interesting part here. Once you dismiss this date picker, you will see that everything has graded out. That means it's not visible. Everything is graded out, and Selenium won't be able to access this part of HTML. It won't be present in the whole page HTML structure. This is visible only when I click on it. So once I click on it, you can see that everything is visible here now. So this is when Selenium would be able to access this HTML, this part of the HTML page, and using this it will be able to identify different elements inside the date picker. So I have my Eclipse project up and running. So let us try to first go to expedia.co.in. So I have set up a Firefox project here. So you can see it's a very simple project. All it does is it creates a Firefox driver, and then it opens a URL as mentioned in step 2 and then it searches for an element. Well, this is from previous project. Let us write the strategy to actually find the element. So let us first find the element ourselves. Where is that? Okay, I will do inspect element in Firebug. So whenever there is an iframe that is being implemented on your page, so in order to access whatever there is inside an iframe, you have to switch to a frame. So once you will understand that part later on. So this is an iframe. We know that the iframe has a ID of calcframe underscore dpd, so we can use this to identify the iframe. So I will do, so once the page has been loaded, I would want to click on the element, click on the edit box. Where is that? We would want to click on this edit box in order to open the date picker. So let us try to find what this element is. This element is an input box with an ID of this. So let us try to find this element with ID. So I will do ff.d, which is my Firefox driver, and I will say find element by ID. I will do this. I will paste my value inside it, and I will say that click on this element. So it says Firefox driver, please find an element with element by an attribute called ID, and the ID value inside the HTML should be this. Once you find this, click on it. Okay, so we have found the element. At this point in time, after this execution of this statement, that small frame, the date picker frame, will come up. Now once the date picker frame comes up, you won't be able to access any element inside the frame unless and until you switch to that frame. So let me first show you the error case. So let us first try. So once we click on that, this window comes up, this frame comes up, and I want to click on, let's say, 20th. So what I will do, I will just simply copy the XPath, and I will say once I have clicked on that, again find me an element by XPath, and the XPath has the value this, and I want you to click on this. There we go. So ID, this should work, right? Because we have clicked on the element, that window has come up, and if I by XPath, I can go to that element and click on it. Let's try to run this. So this program will not work because when I do this find element, a new date picker window opens up, but I'm not able to access it because that is implemented as an iframe. So whenever you find an iframe, you have to switch to that frame in order to access the elements inside that frame. So you will see it now. So it opened up the Firefox browser, and you will see that it opened up this window, this date picker, but there was an exception underneath. What is the exception? Let's see. The exception says unable to locate element, and it says the method is this XPath and the selector is this. Now it clearly says that I'm not able to find an element which you have mentioned as an XPath. That's fair enough, because we never switched to that frame. So I will do ffd my Firefox driver dot switch to dot frame, and I will say I want to switch to a frame which has an ID let us just find the ID of the frame first. This is the frame which has an ID of this, right? And I will just say okay. Let's click on the input box so that the date picker element comes up, and just after doing that I want to switch on to that date picker frame. Now let's try to run this. A small adjustment. I don't know, it's slow. It's kind of slow on my system, on this system specifically. Otherwise it works quite well. And you will see it clicked on this, and there you go. It selected the date. It selected the date, whatever date that XPath element was. It went there and it clicked on that. So this is the very first strategy that we were talking about. Whenever your date picker is inside a window, is inside an iframe, use this strategy. Now let's try another date picker element that is available on. Just give me a minute, let me comment this out. So before we do this, let us see another example of a date picker element. So going back, let us go to creative.com. Now you can see that there is also a date picker element here, but this element is implemented in a little different way. Okay, so let us try to find out how this is implemented on the creative.com website. So I click on this and I say inspect element using Firebug. Once I say that, Firebug opens up. Now I want to see how the item picker or the date picker is being implemented. So let me open it up. Let me find an element inside the date picker. This is the element, and as I go up, the element changes, right? So this is how date picker is implemented here. Each date is represented by a TD, and I think each row of 7 days is represented by a TR. So we have a couple of TRs. As you can see that when I hover my mouse over different TRs, different rows are highlighted on the UI element. So let us see how where the whole structure is hosted. So as you can see, the whole structure is hosted inside a div tag. This is the parent div tag, and inside it we have all the div tags, which div and table tags, which hold different other elements. Now this div tag represented by id equals to UI date picker div is inside the main HTML. So as it is inside the main HTML and we don't have any iframe here, so we don't have to switch to a new frame while accessing the elements here. So as you can see, once this table goes out of focus, you will see that the date picker is closed now. It does not exist. So this HTML element fades out. These HTML elements are not present in the main HTML. Now pay close attention to this class tag, the class attribute. Once I click on this, you will see pay attention to the style tag. Once I click on this, the style tag is like, this is the value of the style tag. Once I remove it, you can see the display has changed to none. Look at that. When I click on the item picker, display is blocked. When I change, display is none. So this is how it enables and disables the item picker or the date picker.
Let us try to code this in Selenium. So first we have to click on this element in order to uh, bring out the date picker. So here it is. This element has a ID depart date. So I will write a simple script, simple test case where I will create a Firefox driver. Well, you don't need profile here, but just for the sake of it, I have created a Firefox profile and enable all the native events. So I have created a Firefox driver using the same profile, and with the Firefox driver I have navigated to cleartrip.com. Once we navigate to cleartrip.com, I put a thread.sleep here, but I would recommend that you put the driver based sleeps, which could be a implicit explicit sleep, depending on the requirement. To know more about sleeps, you can refer to our tutorials on sleep, on waits on toolsqa.com. Uh, then after the sleep, I will try to access the element which is represented by ID depart date, which is this one, which is this box, edit box, because once I click on it, the date picker comes up. So I have find element by ID, then I click on this element, and then after that I click on an element represented by the X path, this. Now this is one of the dates inside the item, the calendar date picker. So let's try to run this one. As you can see, it has launched the browser, and it will click on pick a date edit box, which is the depart on, and it will select one date. So it selected June 20th. It selected this item. So this is how you can select different items, different dates inside the date picker. Well, I gave you an example, live example from ClearTrip and Expedia.com, but we have these date pickers implemented on our website for you to practice. In the video link below, in the description, you will find the details to where you can details the page which has implemented date pickers. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next video.